All right, welcome back to Twig. And Mike, you're right, we need some music. Twig needs like an intro.
Needs a theme song, intro, something.
Yeah, somebody out there who's good with theme songs.
Yes, please.
Send us one.
Please, we need it.
That would be awesome. So today we're gonna run down our favorite 5 clips of the week.
Love it.
We had so much fun with those golf fails.
It's always hard to narrow those down.
Yeah.
So many good ones.
Yeah, but we had so much fun with the golf fails last week. So this week, it's a little bit of a mix, but there's some impressive stuff in there as well. We're also going to talk about Jon Rahm, big win.
Huge.
Needed to win, taking over the #1 spot.
Right.
We got the 3M Open this week. And some crazy stories out there, including one where you see this guy got hit by a bullet on the golf course.
I got shot while playing golf.
And it was a real life Caddyshack story.
It was.
So I'm excited to get into that. Of course, this episode is sponsored by this episode of Twig is sponsored by 5-Iron Golf, the urban indoor golf experience for serious golfers and non-golfers alike. Great news, Mike. They are open. They're reopened again in New York, Chicago, Philly, Baltimore. So it's great to see things opening back up, and it's great to have that spot.
I'm excited. Yeah,
golfers can go, you can play. There's so much you can do there. They include a full swing and TrackMan simulators. There's got a staff of teaching professionals there, a full bar, chef-inspired menu. It's a great place to not only work on your game, but also have some fun while doing it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Baltimore location. We're going in a few weeks.
We're going to be down there in a few weeks for sure. Unfortunately, not with a meetup. A lot of you guys dropped your comments asking if there was going to be a meetup happening. Not just yet. We have to wait a little longer for it's safe to do so. We had over 70 people reserve spots for our meetup before it got moved pre-COVID. We want to make sure we can make it as big as possible, so hang tight for that. We're going to do more of that. Also, if you're looking for some new equipment, look no further than 5-Iron's Fitting Lab. Their expert fitters use best-in-class technology to help build clubs suited for your game. So learn more, make a reservation, go to 5irongolf.com or follow them on social media at 5irongolf. And when you mention Golficity, when you check out, you can get a free hour off your sim rental and 10% off lessons.
Not bad.
Not
Very
bad
cool.
at all. You and I are going to be doing a lesson there soon.
Yep.
So I'm excited. All right, diving right into things. So Jon Rahm.
Only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time. He's playing incredibly well, and on top of that, you had a tough field, and we'll talk about how difficult the course played. But you had a tough field there, and he needed the win to overtake Rory McIlroy for world number 1.
That was it. He needed the win. Second did nothing for him.
Right. And he came through with the win, which
Clutch.
Hats off. I mean, yeah, talk about coming through in the clutch.
Yeah, I always like when they earn the #1 spot, at least for the first time in their career, by a win.
Yeah.
As opposed to like you wake up in the morning, you're like, this guy fell back, and now I'm all of a sudden in first. It's cool. Hey, I'm the #1 golfer in the world, but the win really.
Yeah, to win to get yourself there is really
cool.
something. I believe that makes him the second Spaniard ever to take that world #1 spot.
Do you know who the first was?
Was it Seve?
Probably.
It had to be Seve, right?
Had to be.
If we're wrong, drop it in the comments. Let us know.
Back
So talking about the course playing tough, get this number. Final round scoring average of the Memorial, 75.932. That is the highest since 1978.
It did play tough, and to see guys who like own that course, like Patrick Cantlay, who won it last year, he was doing well all week, and then Sunday he shot a 79.
Yeah.
Sunday must have been a rough day out there.
It was a rough day. The course played incredibly fast. It is what it is. I mean, look, it had been dry.
Yep.
So it played fast and dry, and a lot of guys, a lot of short game stuff, a lot of trouble holding some greens. We saw some errant chips, things like that, and that's where things can come off the rails. But Rahm, he slipped up a little bit on Sunday, but still managed to make it work.
Yeah, he definitely did, and really cool to see someone new in the top spot, someone fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. No one knows how long these last. Guys are always winning, changing hands. Rory might be #1 again next week. If he wins, it goes back and forth. But hats off to Jon Rahm, and it was cool to see that news about the Mickelson bet.
Yeah.
Someone bet him. I think he bet that Rahm would be in #1 spot before, I think, in the next 2 years or whatever the case may be.
Phil loves his gambling.
Phil loves his betting. Don't bet against Phil.
But I tell you what, I heard this stat. I think it was Rahm would have to hold #1, I think, through 2033. To equal the amount of weeks Tiger's been at #1.
That's ridiculous.
Come on.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
There's something that'll never
It's
get
so
broken.
wild.
Yep.
But yeah, so, and it was cool to see the experiment really work out of having 2 back-to-back PGA Tour tournaments at the same location.
Yep.
It definitely felt like 2 different tournaments. The way they, just moving tee boxes, pins, things like that. It felt different, and it was cool to see the guys play there 2 weeks in a row. Muirfield Village, Jack's place. Speaking of Jack, the golf world took a collective sigh of relief when we heard the news that Jack had beat COVID-19, both Jack and his wife, both, by the way, 80 years old. So, and Jack in some of the interviews said, there's no denying he's in that kind of danger zone age for COVID. But it was scary to hear that he contracted it.
Yeah.
Happy to hear that.
Happy to hear. And it was a while ago, right? It was early on?
It was early on. He's just telling us now, but I believe it was back in March, around that March time.
Interesting stuff. And he has, 6 green jackets? How many green jackets does he have?
Great question. Put me on the spot. I don't know.
So I think it's 6.
But I think you had said, and I saw other people calling this his 19th major.
This is his 19th major that he
beating COVID was his 19th major.
Good for him, though. Scary, but
good for him.
Good to hear that he's good. He's
absolutely.
Him and his wife, sure.
Yeah, super scary stuff. And it just shows it doesn't matter who you are. You know, it can get to anybody.
Right.
So it was scary, but I think it was, if nothing else, it was good for him to come out and tell people that it had happened. It just keeps to bringing that awareness of the dangers. Mm-hmm. But glad to see he beat it. This week, we've got the 3M Open. That's at TPC Twin Cities.
Okay. Good old Minnesota.
Par 72 playing to 7,164 yards. And the big hitters are coming out, Mike.
You got all the big boys?
The big boys are in this. So listen to some of this field. You've got DJ, you've got Koepka, Finau, Bubba Watson, Matt Wolff. There's a lot of power in that lineup.
Ton of power, and I love to see the big names keep rolling in, not taking breaks because they've been off for so long. So they just keep going. This is Matt Wolff's defending champion spot.
Yep.
His first ever PGA Tour event. Love watching that kid play. So this should be a good week. I mean, don't discount any of these lesser named tournaments. These are all action-packed, like you said, and they make for great golf during the week.
Yeah, they're pulling in, like you said, big fields because of the fact that everybody wants to get out there and play. But I've been impressed with some of the stuff Finau's doing.
Yep.
I think he's
due for a win soon.
And love to see him get over the line and get that win. Koepka, struggle. We saw some struggles last week.
Right.
You never know with him.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Here's a guy who says he doesn't practice, and
probably doesn't.
If it's not a, what do you call it?
It's not a major.
I don't know how much that's true. All these guys are out on the course every single day.
True enough.
But you get what I'm saying. Speaking of tournaments, we have the official kickoff of the Golficity Virtual Open, the 4th annual Golficity Virtual Open. Already, Mike, 775 people have entered.
That's awesome.
Yeah, when we announced it, we set a personal goal this year. We want to have 2,000 people join, and I think we're going to get to that number. Now, if you haven't joined yet, you still have plenty of time to do so. In fact, we're going to play our virtual open round this Friday. You can play anytime from July 15th to August 15th. Mm-hmm. All the details are at golficity.com/open. It is free to play, and we have some killer door prizes.
Man.
I think it was over $2,000 worth of door prizes, and they keep rolling in. In fact, the team at Orange Whip, they saw that we were doing the Open. They emailed and said, "Can we donate some prizes?" I'm like, "Absolutely, for sure."
They just landed today.
They just landed. We've got 2 of the Orange Whip trainers that just came in, so we're going to throw those in the prize pool. Really excited for this one, and it's super fun to do. You can watch the leaderboards. Everybody's been having a blast doing it.
And you don't have to be a good golfer to win any of the prizes. That's the best part.
No, and I think every year I always say we should give that an honesty award.
We should.
There's already somebody who shot 30 over or something like that. But I've been loving watching some of the stories coming in of people saying how they played better because of the tournament experience. They took it a little more seriously. Other people felt like it's just great getting their feet wet in an easy-going tournament. But it's all about having fun, getting out there and playing.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you guys haven't registered yet, remember, go to golficity.com/open.
Would I ruin you if I tell you a quick story?
No, go for it.
So speaking of tournaments, you just made me think about something. I played in an event last week at a course in New Jersey called the Ridge at Backbrook. It's a very uber exclusive country club, very hard to get into, beautiful. Reminds me of Hudson Hills. Anyway, the host, there was probably 13 or 14 foursomes. The whole course was occupied. And the host, he went out on the first tee, and this is according to him and the people in his foursome. He got up to the first tee, he was the first one to go, it was a par 3, and he was loosening up, stretching out his back.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Guys, breakfast ball on the first tee," because I didn't even get a chance to warm up. I was saying hello to everyone. They're like, "Yeah, whatever. Hole in one."
No way.
Hole in one. First ever. Didn't warm up.
First swing.
First swing of the day. And it was incredible.
You made him take the breakfast ball, right?
Gotta use it.
Gotta use it.
But how incredible is that?
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's a story you tell right there.
Was it one of the hole-in-ones for a prize?
No prizes, because it was just like a friendly. It wasn't like an outing.
Okay.
But how cool is that? Not even a warm up. We're out there grinding on the range in 100-degree heat, trying to get loose. This guy just fires one up again.
That's wild. Because I saw you played in an outing the other day, and they had a Jeep as a prize for a hole.
That was another outing for a charity event, and I wanted to win that too, but I shanked that one.
As I said, the best one I haven't witnessed it, my father witnessed it, but there was a tournament at his home club 20 years ago, and on the 18th hole, the guy made a hole-in-one, and the prize was a Corvette, drove off in it.
That's sweet.
That's a good feeling.
That's a good feeling, man.
That's a good feeling. All right, the opposite of a good feeling. Have you seen this wild story? I was saying before, 80-year-old man, he was playing his round at the golf club at Camelot, and he was struck in the chest by a bullet. Out of nowhere, just came out of nowhere. Luckily, the injury was not life-threatening. He's already out of the hospital, which in and of itself is a miracle. But here's the crazy part. The bullet came from a nearby residence where a man was attempting to shoot a groundhog. Can you say
There's Carl Spackler right there, right?
real life Caddyshack moment?
Oh my God.
I mean, we can only laugh because the guy survived.
Because he survived, of course.
But imagine that you're 80 years old, you're out there, you're playing golf,
Dude,
and
it's a hard enough game. Now you got to dodge bullets.
Right. You take a stray bullet to the chest.
Oh man, but what happened to the guy who shot him? Did they find out?
They know who it was.
They know who it was.
Yeah, and they were able to whatever. I don't know if there were any charges pressed. I don't know if legally he could shoot a gun in his yard.
Yeah.
There's
clearly, it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't do that next time.
Yeah, maybe if you live near a golf course, don't try to shoot any of the local wildlife.
That makes sense. Wow.
Speaking of ricochets, and I notice you still have the bit of the mark on your arm.
Yes.
We're a bit anxious to get our simulator installed, so I took one of the foam balls. Look, there's really no other thing we can do here other than just quickly roll this footage, because luckily enough, we've got the ring cam, and it caught this moment when I thought, I didn't think these foam balls were very hard. I thought they were soft, and I tried to just hit one off the wall, and anyway, this is what happened. Take a look. Sorry, man.
Oh man, I was holding the phone. It hit here, and then I just went down. That's great. Because this is one of the things you don't expect. It's that's like in the indoor simulator place. If you're standing behind watching the guy hit, and the tee flies back and hits you.
Right.
Same concept.
One in a million shot. One in a million shot. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, I think we need to get the sim in. So
it's coming.
Speaking of which,
right?
It's coming.
Yes.
So you got an update for us?
Right. So the team at OptiShot, they sent over via delivery by our guy Eric, who drove this whole simulator, except for the bay, from Michigan. He said it took him 9 hours.
Whoa, he's moving.
He was moving.
Yeah.
He said normally about 12-hour ride.
Yeah.
Took him 9 hours. Drove all the parts here. We brought it all upstairs on Monday. It's over there. We're just waiting for the hitting bay, which is in production now, custom to the space. Should be here in a couple weeks.
And we're super excited about it because it means some new segments for Twig.
Can't wait.
So we'll be able to load up some of the courses that the PGA Tour has been playing and be able to...
Just if I could just go over there quick and challenge you to a quick closest to the pin.
There you go.
Put your money where your mouth is. Let's go. Right?
I'm super excited for this thing. So that'll be in really soon. In the meantime, I think I'll just stay away from hitting any
yeah, you
golf
and me
balls.
both. I put a toe one into the wall over there. So.
Oh, that's too funny. Also, in other Golficity news, I did it.
Yes.
I passed my commercial drone pilot's license, and Mike got me this terrific shirt here.
I'm a big shirt guy.
He's a big shirt guy.
Makes the best gift.
There you go.
Look at that.
This
Captain
is your
Frank.
captain speaking.
Captain Frank
this
is
your
legal
captain
fly.
speaking. So yeah, as it turns out,
It's hysterical. I want to know a little more about the test because you drop some knowledge on me here. Give me something I didn't know about drones.
So first and foremost, if you're putting your footage on YouTube, you technically need to have a commercial license.
You see that, guys?
So you know us here at Golficity, always trying to be on the up and up, doing it the right way.
Always.
So I took a 15-hour course.
You studied for like a month.
It ended up being much more than that in study. And went down. You had to go to an airport and take this test. Passed it with a 98%, man. So
that's great.
You're looking at a FAA-registered commercial drone pilot. If anybody needs any drone work done, just give me a
There's your guy. There's your guy.
So that'll be cool, and we'll be able to get more of those epic shots on the golf course while we're out there.
That we love so much.
Fun stuff. All right, let's dive into our favorite part.
Yes.
The top 5 clips of the week. Okay, so by the way, if any of you see any clips that you think would be a great fit here for Twig, hashtag it Twig, tag us at Golficity. We'd love to see them because we have a lot of fun running through these clips.
100%.
All right?
Yeah.
And the very first one here, Mike, comes from somebody who is certainly familiar here on the show. We've featured him in some of our trick shots of the week before. Our own friend Garrett of GM Golf does what seems like the impossible, and you can see it in the reaction on his face.
Yeah, it's incredible.
To flop one up like that
and
then hit it out of the ball. Exactly.
You know, jeez.
That's a walk-off. After that, you just
That's a walk-off for sure. Yep, you're done.
But I tell you what, if you don't think that's hard, go out on the range and try it. It's literally, it's like a 1 in a million shot to be able to make that happen. So amazing. It just seems like it doesn't stop coming from Garrett.
No, they've got some good stuff. They had an old car that they all beat up on the other day with a couple of stingers.
I saw that.
Great stuff
as well. Always fun stuff, and of course, all the major media outlets eat that up. I think it was on Sports Center.
Yeah,
he had it everywhere.
Yeah,
but that one was really cool. Here's another one. This one, if you want to solve your pace of play issues, just put a couple of Gators out there.
Yeah.
So this guy, and not the time to be a lefty, because I think the last thing you want to do is put your back to a Gator like this. But
yeah, I don't know why he did that.
Well, he's lefty.
But I would turn the club around.
Oh.
I would hit that thing righty if I'm a lefty. For
sure.
I
think I would tell that thing, that's your ball. And I'm
exactly.
But so he gets up, puts his back to this thing, and somehow, cool as a cucumber, hits a great shot.
Yeah.
Puts it on the green.
He was cool.
Yeah.
Didn't really flinch, look behind him or
Didn't
anything.
flinch, made it happen. I mean, some of these guys who are used to playing around the Gators down Florida and some of those other southern courses, it doesn't phase them as much as us. But to us, it's like playing with dinosaurs out there. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, seriously.
So that was pretty wild. Another amazing kind of file it under trick shots, Max Hilty, who is a great follow. He always does cool stuff, all different sports. Just one of those guys who's just purely talented. But taking juggling kind of to the next level here with this one.
Incredible.
Especially
I watched this one a couple times.
At the end. That big
flip.
Yeah.
Wow. To get that and then connect.
Right. 9 times out of 10, that comes down, that club hits me on top of the head.
Easily. I don't even have the patience to do that more than 3 times.
No.
Yeah.
No. But just an amazing stuff from him there.
Yep.
And then here, I think this would it's one of the more relatable ones. I think our final clip is the most relatable. But this is one of the most relatable ones because the reaction here on this hole out. So take a look at this. You see, he's got clearly a tricky shot, over a little stream there, and he's got to get it up.
How he even got it out of there.
Right. And on the fly, dunked it.
And did not fall in the water.
Right.
And dunked it.
Dunked it. Just dunked it, and immediately his reaction.
That's great.
That's when you're just so glad that someone caught it on tape,
right?
Because no one would ever.
100%, absolutely.
So I think he's
that was like my 95-foot putt in Ely.
Yes.
He's just one of those ones that I've got that forever. I never expect that to even come close, but same deal. Great shot.
He had to think something was going to happen to tell his buddy to hold his phone.
Right.
But I got to think he thought it was just going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
But he just chips it up and in. And
good for you, man.
The reaction to me is the most priceless part. So yeah, absolutely. Good for you. That was awesome. And then here, this one. We'll call this one Trouble with That Wife. We'll call this one The Doghouse.
Trouble in Paradise, yeah.
So funny because a lot of people who watched the video, they said, I could kind of side with her until he said where he was playing.
Right.
And he only needed a 2-word defense to get him completely off the hook with every golfer. By just saying, it's Sawgrass. So we'll roll this clip so you guys can take a look here.
Okay, so let's just get this straight. You're telling me that you spent $425 on a round of golf and then $110 on apparel.
Babe, it's Sawgrass.
So clearly, she's not a golfer.
Clearly. Clearly.
But you'd think at first, okay, maybe she's making a point. It's,
Right.
it's not cheap, $475
It's a good point.
greens
She makes a
fees.
solid point.
It's a solid point. Then another $110 on the shirt.
On the shirt, there might be a
but-
caddy cost. Yep.
Again, I don't think there's a better argument than it's Sawgrass. So
That's right.
case
That's true.
closed. He's right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if there's a bucket list course out there, I don't think it much matters
Yeah.
price-wise for me, in my opinion.
Right. It's the other thing. When you say bucket list, it's not something you're playing every week. Like,
Right.
we're not made of money. There's no way I could afford something like that. But if I'm going to play a big course once a year and I need to save up $500 to do so, I'm going to try to do it.
Yeah, I mean, but I think there's some courses that you might hesitate. Like let's just play this game real quick.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
call you up and I say, Frank, I got a spot for you at Oakmont this weekend. A little bit of a drive out in Pennsylvania. It's going to be $400 with the caddy. You going?
Yeah, I'm playing.
Yeah, okay.
I'm playing.
Yes, okay.
Oakmont.
I thought
yeah.
Oakmont you would say no. And
No,
the other example,
Oakmont, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if it's a big name, big caliber
Big
course,
name, and if it's one of those ones, like I said, I'm not playing it every day. I'm going to play it maybe once, twice.
Right.
I'm willing to shell out the money.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when I played Kiwa.
Yeah.
That was my most expensive round to date, $500. But it was another one of those ones. I knew if I ever got the chance, that was my number one. That's
Yep.
the one I was going to invest in. That's what I was going to do, and I stayed there and did it. I couldn't afford to do it 2-3 times a year.
Yeah,
but,
no way. You'd go
one
broke.
time.
Were you more excited about the round or the family wedding? Probably the round. You could say that now. He's probably not watching this.
Oh, dude, come on. Of course it's a round. I was down there for a wedding, but I said to my wife, if we're going to Kiwa,
Sign me
I'm
up.
playing golf. We flew in a day
That's
early
great.
and we played. There's no shame in that.
Yep.
But I tell you what, too. Look, I don't know about you. I think a lot of golfers, passionate about the game, we don't spend a lot of money on other things.
True.
Like, golf is my number one hobby. That's where my money is. Like some guys, it's, cars, like antique cars. You know how much
Right.
those can cost.
Right.
Things get expensive. Whatever.
Sure.
Hunting. My brother's a big hunter. Hunting gets expensive, man.
Yeah, dude, just going out and drinking with your buddies is expensive.
Right.
It's something that I don't do, you don't do. We just
Exactly.
don't have the time
So
for that.
listen, I am going to be the last person to begrudge somebody for saving
Fair
up
point.
a little bit of money
Fair point.
and spending some money.
Right.
But clearly he was in a little bit of trouble. But you can tell from the smirk on his face, I don't think he cared.
He didn't care.
He didn't care.
I think everyone should play one bucket list, 3, 4, 500, whatever dollar round per year if they can.
Yeah, if you've got the means to do it.
Make
But
it a
like
goal.
I said, otherwise you save up a bit. It's an experience.
It's experience. You're paying for an
you won't
experience, yeah.
forget, you know. And you don't have to spring for the gear in the clubhouse, but
You don't
it's
have
that
to, but
memory.
it gets
Take
you.
some
It
pictures.
gets
They're
you.
free. Take pictures while you're out there. All right, that is everything we have for you guys. Special thanks again to 5 Iron Golf for sponsoring this week's episode of Twig. Exciting things to come. Make sure you guys get into the Golficity Virtual Open. We'll be giving updates on that. We've got a bunch of giveaways going on as well with the Vokey SM8s and things like that. So a lot of exciting stuff. The one thing that I will say that's a little bit sad, today we were supposed to fly out to Pinehurst.
Right after this recording.
Right after this, our flight actually came up on my my calendar and reminded me about our flight. Sadly, it did have to be rescheduled again. At the end of the day, you got to do what's safe. Right now, there are some serious travel restrictions coming from North Carolina back to New York. You and I, we've got a lot to do. We can't afford a 2-week quarantine. So it is still going to happen, but we're most likely going to have to push it out till later in the year. It's the second time we bumped the trip. 2020's been a
Yeah.
wild ride, but you got to do it safe.
Should probably cancel that flight, right? I'm kidding.
You're still going, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm still going.
He's sneaking down there and playing himself. No, look, like I said, got to do what's right. Got to do what's
Yeah,
safe.
you're right, absolutely.
So we
We'll
will
get there.
still get there. I know a lot of you have been looking forward to the Pinehurst series. It will happen one way or another, but again, we got to do it the safe way.
We'll get there.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you again soon.